So the main stadium has the seating completed, but we still need to refine it a little bit to look more like what the plan has been showing us. So let's go back to this plan and isolate one of the quarters that we've created. And let's also select the CAD elevation and isolate those three. We're going to go in plan first, so top view, and we're going to keep this original geometry and we're going to do everything else with a second layer of editable poly, just in case we make a mistake and we need to go back, so we can always have this original geometry to fall back onto, which is really important for clients' changes down the road. So the first thing we can do is we can add this entrance here, which is the main entrance coming out of the building. Actually, there would be two entrances and exits. One would be at the top level and one would be down here below where there is this intermediate walkway. So let's go and add a extra line of edges here by selecting the edges just in the top half, since that's where the change is happening. Let's click on connect and let's slide this manually till we hit this line. We can then go and delete these polys that are in the way, and we can just go and refine this a little bit in perspective. So essentially what's happening here is this is going to be our entrance, so we want to create a sort of idea that there is this entrance happening here. I'm going to look at the X value of this line, which is this long number here. I'm going to copy it to this one below and press enter, just so that they align in that plane. We could have also used the make planar tool down here, down the stack. I'm going now to bridge them across, and I've done that so that I can press on 3 being the border, and I can select this empty border here and click on cap. So what that'll do is it's now created a nice fill for me, and I'm able to, if I go out of the selection, which I won't right now, you'll be able to see that that's now mirrored on the other side, and we have this idea of an entrance happening there. So the last thing we're going to do to this is we're going to cut off this corner which is overhanging over our limit here. So we're going to do that the quick way by quick slicing it. This is not very precise, but it's very good for times when you're running out of time and you're just doing conceptual modeling. And we're just going to do that by eye. And then taking the polys, selecting them all, you're going to, in one shot, delete that out of there. So no reason to really spend any more time than that on it. I'm not going to fuss with any more detail than that, since the outer shell is actually going to create a little edge here, like a balustrade, for us. So we don't really need to worry about too much edging here on this particular object. One more thing before we go, we're going to add the actual plane, which is going to be the floor. So I'm going to go to the front view, and I'm going to stretch this out so that it goes all the way down to the end. So that is basically the highest level that we can access, and this part here will be our lift core that pops up, and over here we will have our roof. Now this roof I'm going to do right now, I'm going to do it by creating a box, and the height of it we can adjust in plan. So let's go into plan here, and let's move that across, zoom in, and let's just turn that into an editable poly and stretch this out. This again is one of those things which we can do by eye. If you really want to get this edge correct so that you can mirror it, you can have a look at what the Y value is here. I'm going to copy paste that Y value, and that is going to be the value that we can paste into here. So you see it jumped across to the correct area. Now since we're going to be mirroring it, we want to delete this part. And also what I think is it's going to be more exciting if this top part of the slab is actually, if it actually has a hole in the middle. So let's go ahead and do that. Again, here I'm sure that if you don't have a very accurate set of architectural plans, you can client allowing, go ahead and make certain design changes as you go along with your project. It really depends what type of situation you're in, whether you have that flexibility or not. So what I'm showing you is just the workflow of joining a couple of edges and setting up. Here I'm just selecting all the edges, right-clicking, connecting that, shifting it across by eye. Whether you want to do it precisely or not is entirely up to the situation you're in. So right now I'm just doing some pretty freehand, free eye, free willing edits to this. And I will be bridging this all together using bridge, closing that off. And here we can select the border, right-click, cap. So there we go, that's the roof. It moved a bit. And if we isolate out of there, we'll see we have that roof design there. And now we can go and mirror that across using working pivot. And this one too. Now you'll see we have most of the stadium seating in place. So in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to look at how we can refine this area here just before we make the shell. And one of the things we need to do if we look at the elevation is we need to shave this main building down. And we can either do that before or after the shell. I'm going to do it before, just so that we can focus on the shell right at the end, because it is quite a complex object. We'll be making that object in a similar way to the way we've done the support structure. So first I'm going to get the sort of nasty simple poly editing changes out the way before we focus on the juicy part, which is making this wing-shaped stadium here. So there we go, that's it for this video. What we've done is we've edited the stadium seating, and we've gone and created some of the details like the roof, and we're almost done with the seating part. We just have this building to edit in the next video, and then we're on to the better stadium forms later on.